everyone, and welcome to the introduction episode of Minus You. A bit about myself for those of you who don't know me, or those who do know me but feel pretty behind on what the hell I've been up to. My name is Madeline. I'm 22 years old, and I was born and raised in Oregon. I graduated from high school in 2019, and yes, I just narrowly missed the doomed class of 2020. I am one of those unfortunate COVID young adults who graduated from college during COVID as well. During 2021, as Oregon was still reveling in COVID and riots, I got the hell out of here and moved to Orlando, Florida to work for Walt Disney World. During that time, I was a housekeeper at Pop Century Resort, worked in the coveted neighborhood of Golden Oak for a billionaire and his quote-unquote wife, and was even friends with some really awesome Disney characters. It was the fastest 18 months of my life, and I ended up moving back to Oregon in December of 2022. In the midst of all these glorious, yet somehow backhanded victories that cover my social media now, I was in an almost 3-year relationship with a man named Nicholas. It was 1,059 days to be exact. My relationship with Nicholas was from January of 2020 to December of 2022. I was engaged to Nicholas twice, once in February of 2022 and then again in July of 2022. I bought my wedding dress for our wedding in September of 2022, and the wedding planner I had was covered with my lovely Pinterest creations and all my ideas for the wedding. I was contacting venues, and our wedding was actually set for January of 2024 so that it could be in the snow at Mount Hood National Forest. Our relationship ended on November 26th of 2022 when I got a text from one of Nicholas's family friends that said that he was on Tinder. I did get photo proof of this, and he had been cheating for about a month and a half and was looking for sex. His family knew about this as well and actually never approached either of us about this. It was a gossip topic at his mother's scrapbook parties. This devastated me. I made the choice after I heard of his family's approval of his cheating that I would need to leave. During this time, we were both in the process of moving back to Oregon. I had a job at Linfield University that I had started the day that I got the text message in the office in our house. He had been unsuccessful at finding a job in Oregon yet, and the day I found out about what was going on, actually, he got a massive promotion. Unfortunately, all signs pointed towards it's time for me to go. So, I packed up my Jeep in my U-Haul and took 2 of the cats and whatever else I could and made the silent and depressing trip across the country without the person that I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with and marry. Yeah. Pretty sucky. I am about 6 months out of my engagement and long-term relationship now, and it is still really, really hard some days. During this process, I realized that people don't really talk about broken engagements. Plenty of people talk about breakups, and plenty of people talk about divorce. And those things are super hard, of course. I am not denying that those are difficult at all. But to plan your whole life with someone and be right on the verge of forever, with wedding plans, rings, houses, and you've got like your life blueprints all laid out, and to have that be gone within just like an instant, it's a really different type of mourning and devastation and pure confusion. I felt very alone. I felt that no one truly understood what I was and what I am going through. So I wanted to share this with people and with individuals who are feeling maybe just as lost as I am sometimes. You are not alone, and there are truly people who understand you, they understand how you feel, and they know what you're going through. That is my primary reason for writing Minus You. The secondary reason is that I was silent for almost 3 years regarding some insanely bleak and borderline, emotionally abusive situations that I was consistently dealing with. I will not be silent any longer. I am not going to be subjected to being a gossip topic, a laughing stock, or a court jester for the crowd who was not so silently praying for my downfall. Of course, those people may never listen to this, nor ever actually care, but, it's my turn to say my piece. I acknowledge that putting my life, my problems, my mistakes, and my hurt out into the world on multiple platforms is going to change people's view of me, But the bottom line is I will not silence myself to meet the needs of others' image or mine. Minus You is structured to have 21 episodes, which are split into 3 chapters: during, after, and future. There are 8 episodes in my during section, 7 in the after section, and 6 in the future section. I picked 21 lessons that I learned during these sections of my relationship that best represent it as a whole. It was a little hard just to pick 21, as I actually come across new lessons almost every week. But as I narrowed it down, I decided to choose topics that not only reflect issues that stemmed from my partner, but issues that I had. I am far from perfect. Like, really far from perfect. So before you assume that this is an I hate men and it's fully the man's fault type podcast, I'm sorry to say that isn't the goal here. I'm going to be sharing things with you that I did that it's probably going to shock you regarding choices that seriously hurt my relationship. These lessons are brash, harsh, and painful, but they are all truthful. None of these lessons will be filled with fluff or drama filler for attention or any just false stories. The best way I could describe this concept to you guys is I'm going to be using facts alongside the way that I'm going to affect your perspective. Sharing these lessons with you all is honestly a really big part of my healing process. Even as I sit and write out episodes, I learn more about myself regarding each topic and how it affects me and my life now. This is a project that I'm really proud of, and I cannot wait to continue sharing this with you all. It has been really hard trying to figure out how to process almost 3 years and an entire lifetime being gone. It has been a process of really insane change and very, very deep grief. But I am proud that I am choosing to channel this experience and those years and all of the emotions that come along with that into a project that my younger self would be really amazed to see be done. I hope these lessons can touch others' lives in a positive way, whether that is saving themselves from a painful lesson like mine, or self-discovery that is going to allow a struggling relationship to be saved due to my expressed experience. Thank you for joining me in the introduction of Minus You. I will see you next week with my first episode of the During chapter, which is titled Defining My Value, which will be an episode exploring what my value was to Nicholas, how it changed over time, and what brought me to recognize this change.